Hey guys, it's been a while since I made a YouTube video. I got sidetracked with another project. I built a enclosure for my 3D printer, and I just got back from a work trip to Seattle. But it's another day, another project, and today we're back on the Mustang. As you can probably tell, this box is from Summit. We ordered a few parts that we're going to need for today's project. Let me pull these out and I can show you everything. First up, some parts from pipes. When I ordered the header back exhaust, I realized that it was a 2.5-inch exhaust. That was intentional, but I didn't realize that my headers are 3-inch. So we got header reducers from pipes. And then what we're going to be focusing on today is the rest of the parts. So, backstory on the car. Car is originally a 289, meaning that it has the small block radiator. But going through my uncle's old parts, he did have a big block radiator that I'm going to use. So I got it pressure tested, cleaned, and repainted. But I don't have any of the bracketry to mount it. So that's what the rest of this is. So we have brand new upper radiator mounts, as well as the lower radiator mounts, and the rubber isolators to go with them. Speaking of the radiator, let's go grab it. This is the radiator we're using. One more thing I forgot to mention, got all the hardware for it. This is from AMK. AMK does like bolt kits for everything on this car, which is pretty sick, and other classics. But on the invoice, there's a handwritten thank you note. Isn't that cute? Let's get to work. So we're at the front of the car now. Let's go ahead and figure out how this crazy ass piece of metal attaches to the bottom of the car for the lower radiator brackets. Let's get it. So after spinning the lower radiator bracket around, trying to figure out how all these crazy bends made up to the car, I finally figured it out. This face here with the slot is for a bolt that goes into this face on the subframe here. So it'll sit in something like that. So I guess because this car originally had the small block radiator, the small block radiators bolt to the core support and not down here. So these holes here were never tapped. So I guess the bolts they give you are self-tappers. Now the right thing would have been to just grab a tap and tap it, but we're already here. So with our lower radiator brackets loosely placed in there, we go ahead and work on our upper radiator bracket. We got to put the little isolators. Similar deal, just studs on rubber studs on either end. Found that the easiest way to do that is to the ends first. It's probably hard to see against my black shirt, but ends first. Pop those in, and then push the center down. So this is ready to go on our radiator. So we got the radiator mounted. It doesn't quite fit that nicely. These are Scott Drake upper and lower radiator brackets, and as you can see here, hopefully you can see there, they don't fit quite nicely. Like the rubber pads seem to be a little too thick, and so it's causing the bracket to kind of squeeze out of the radiator, squeeze off of the radiator, but it's solid, ain't going anywhere. So radiator's mounted. Let's go grab the hoses and hope they fit this radiator because I bought them when I had the small block radiator. So let's check. Got them. So 3 of these 4 hoses were brand new that I bought a while ago when I was still working on the 351 before I decided to swap in the 289. Speaking of the 351, I didn't get a coolant thermostat bypass hose when I bought these three, so I just robbed this one off the 351. So let's see if they all fit. So I'll start with water pump to the thermostat neck. That's got to get cut, but it does fit on there. I think on both ends too. Yeah, so I need to cut this one shorter. So that's fine. Coolant bypass hose is very rusty. I'm definitely going to need to cut it though. We go from here on the water pump to here just behind the thermostat, and that is very, very long. So I'll cut both ends off of that so we got clean ends. Now for the big boys, I believe this is the lower one. I think same thing, we're going to have to cut it, maybe like 2 inches. But I think that's going to fit. Let's see if this fits over the radiator neck. Oh, we're golden. Yeah. Cool. So I need to mark and cut that one. And then one more hose to check. This one, I don't think we're going to have to cut. Yeah, I think that fits quite nicely actually. Yeah. So the upper one we don't need to cut. All the other ones we got to cut. It's not a big deal. So off camera I went ahead and cut all the hoses down to length. Now they should all fit. I am going to be using worm gear hose clamps. I know that they're not technically period correct. I don't know where my original like wire style hose clamps went, but hose clamps are hose clamps. We're just trying to get this thing running. There we go. So, fun fact about Ford small blocks, the water pump pulley on the 351 is different from the one on the 289 and presumably the 302. This is the one that came off the 351. I just checked it right behind me. It does fit on there, but on the 289, it's too big and it's hitting the crankshaft pulley down there. So I don't know if I have like just the wrong crank pulley for this application, or if I do actually need a smaller water pump pulley. But I'm probably going to call it a day here. I'm kind of tired, but I'm going to do some research as to what pulleys I need. So we'll pick this up another day. So as you can see, we got the front of the engine all back together. So the front of the car is pretty much done. So now we can move to the back of the car and work on the rest of the drivetrain. But we'll talk about that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Work on your project. I'll see you in the next one.